Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life.
Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shalom Yamini. Each week, we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find inspiration that will complement your daily life and intensify your connection to God. This week's Parsha Perspective is in honor of the Yahrzeit of Edward Ben Efraim. May his soul be uplifted and his memory a blessing. This week's Parsha Perspective is dedicated in memory of Shlomo Ben Edward. May his soul be uplifted and his memory a blessing. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Devarim. Our Parsha begins the last book of the entire Torah, Sefer Devarim. With just 37 days left to live, Moshe gathers the nation for his final address. He rebukes them for their many past misdeeds and their lack of trust and faith in God. He expressed to them the burden of leadership and how he mitigated it by appointing leaders over each individual tribe. He recounts the spies' frightening reports about Israel and the drastic consequences that stemmed from it. He described in detail their journey throughout the desert and the wars with the nations of Sichon, Bashan, and Amor. However, a question comes to mind. The Parsha ends off with Moshe Rabbeinu repeating his instructions to the tribes of Reuvain and Gad and half of Menasha. They were not to live on the other side of the Yahrzeit until all the other tribes conquered and settled in the land of Israel. As the pasuk says, Ad asher yaniach Hashem la'achechem kachem, ve'yirushu gam heim es ha'aretz asher Hashem elekechem, noisem lahem be'evar Yarden, ve'shaftem ish le'yirushasai, asher nasati lachem. Until God has given rest to your brothers as he did for you, until they possess the land which God has given them on the other side of the Yahrzeit. It is only then you can return to your land which I have given you. But what prompted Moshe Rabbeinu to repeat these specific instructions before the entire Jewish nation? The Al-Sheikh HaKadosh gives a powerful explanation. He explains that Moshe repeated these specific instructions before the entire Jewish people to teach them how to be a nation. The Jewish people are a community of individuals who are inherently connected. And therefore, if even one Jewish person is not stable and established, the rest of the nation may not settle in the promised land. For Hashem has bestowed upon us the privilege and responsibility of each other's physical welfare and spiritual prosperity. As the Gemara in Shabbos relates, that the great Hillel HaZaken told a potential convert, that which is hateful to you, do not do to others. That is the entire Torah, and the rest is just explanations. Moshe's message to the Jewish nation is ever more prevalent as we enter the 9 days. A countdown to the saddest day of the Jewish calendar, Tisha B Av. A day that will live in infamy and sorrow until the ultimate redemption will take place. For many painful stories in our history took place during this short period. Moshe sending the spies to scout out the land and the destruction of both Beis HaMikdash. The crushing of the rebellion of Bar Kokhba and the slaughter of 500,000 Jews in the city of Beitar. And more recently, the approval of the final solution in Germany and the mass deportation of the Warsaw Ghetto to Treblinka extermination camps. The Gemara in Yuma writes that the first Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because of the violation of the 3 cardinal sins: idolatry, murder, and illicit relationships. However, the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed because of unfounded hatred that prevailed amongst the Jewish people. The Gemara explains that this teaches us that baseless hatred is as severe and equal to the 3 cardinal sins that shall never be committed. The Medrash Rabbah on Eicha writes that during the second Beis HaMikdash, people rejoiced over the downfall of others, and this led to their downfall and ruin. It is now clear why Moshe Rabbeinu repeated these specific directives before the entire Jewish people, because he wanted to teach us that we are one. That we will fail if we act separately from our people. However, if we are joined together as a nation, we will be blessed with unimaginable success. As the Parsha ends off, V'es Yeshua tzivesi ba'es ahi lemar. And I, Moshe, have told Yeshua at that time, Einecha ra'is eis kol asher asa Hashem elekechem l'shnei malachim ha'ileh. Your eyes have seen all that God has done to those 2 kings. Ken yasa Hashem lekol hamalachis asher ata oiver shama. And so he will do to all the kings that you will pass. V'lo teira'um ki Hashem elekechem hu hanilcham lachem. Don't fear them, for it is the Lord your God who will fight for you. In our daily life, it is imperative that we stay together and be united despite all differences. For we need to appreciate and value the characteristic differences that make us an individual. For the Jewish nation is inherently connected, and therefore the Jewish people's physical and spiritual future lies in every person's hand. There is an amazing quote by Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs. I don't need you to agree with me. I need you to care about me. Have a meaningful Shabbos and easy fast.
Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.